Florida Penal Code says it. I don't care.
It states that you need to provide them.
On April 15th in Hollywood, Florida, Officer Pitts, apparently working with either a local transit unit or Hollywood police, approached a well-known South Florida accountability activist named Big Nick outside a train station. Transit staff had already asked Big Nick to leave the station, and he complied without any argument or drama. But even after he left peacefully, Officer Pitts stepped in and immediately demanded Big Nick identify himself. What happened next was recorded on camera, and the footage speaks for itself.
Oh, man.
What's your name and your badge number?
Officer Pitts, 3199.
Thank you.
Hey,
what's your name and your badge
hold
number?
Hold on. What's your name, sir? What is your name?
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Well, they want to trespass warn you, which they have the right to do
Right.
off their train.
So I don't need to get my name
I'm
for
trying
a
to talk
warrant.
to you.
All right.
First of all,
I don't want to talk though.
They need your
What's your name?
identification.
No.
They for the form. Yes, they do.
No,
By
they
law.
told me to leave. I left. By law,
By
I
law.
left.
By
If
law,
you
they
can
want-
warn me.
I need your information to put in my system to trespass.
No, I'm not. What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Trespassing. And I'm asking you for your information so I can write into
What
my
crime?
system.
Articulate a
Trespassing
crime.
from the train station.
Okay, they told me to leave
Sir,
and I left. So
need-
what crime did I
Your
commit?
identification, you have to provide
Absolutely
that.
not.
Yeah.
901.151 stays
Give me
different.
your name, please.
Florida Penal Code stays different.
I'm asking for your name.
Okay.
Name and date of birth, sir.
I'm not giving you my name.
What is your name and date of birth?
What's your name and your badge number?
Don't give it to them.
You have to.
No, I just get you mine.
You're
I'm the
making
primary,
contact.
sir. I'm the primary.
Okay, so why are they here?
Because they're my backup.
Okay,
And I'm the
I need their
primary.
names.
My
In case you violate my rights, I need to know
I'm
who
asking
to
for your ID for
contact.
their form.
And I'm not
It's
giving
gonna be
it.
Sergeant.
They asked me to leave. They asked me to
No, they
leave,
don't
and
want
I
you back there
left.
at all.
Okay, so you don't need my information.
They do.
So you don't need. No,
They
I'm
do.
not giving them my information. Florida Penal Code 901.
See this?
Florida Penal Code
See this?
says it. I don't care.
It states that you need to provide them.
First, you need to warn me, which you're doing now,
They
and I'm
want-
not on
I
that.
don't. I have nothing to do with
Good.
it. They
So
want-
I'm not. You can't force
I
me to
can
give
warn
them.
you. Hold on. Let me talk.
You can't force me to get my
I
ID
can
without
warn you
breaking the
in
law.
the system. Well, when the police officer asks for identification,
That's
you
not
have to
what Florida
identify.
Penal Code 901.151 states.
Yeah.
It states suspicion of a crime, about to commit a crime, or have committed a crime. You can pat me, but you can't search me. I do not agree to any illegal searches or seizures.
That's fine. Here comes the sergeant down the street.
Okay,
Turn around.
good.
Do me a favor. You can hold your phone.
Am I being detained?
Well, right now, yes, you
For
are.
what crime?
For trespassing.
Okay.
You're doing obstructing my investigation.
I'm not obstructing. I'm talking to you.
Okay.
I need the sergeant, please.
Sergeant's coming, sir.
Thank you. And so you told them not to identify to a citizen, right?
Who?
You
You're
told them
dealing
not,
with me. I'm the
but
primary.
they're here.
No, they
They're
have
here.
nothing to do with it.
They're
They
here.
respond because
First of all,
dispatch
why are you
sent
so
it.
loud? Back up a little bit.
I'm right here.
Okay, but back up a little bit.
Because you're right next to me.
No, you
And I
walked
just
up to
done-
me.
First of all,
Okay,
I
I'm going to
thank
step
you.
a step
There you
back.
go. There
I'm
you
going to
go.
take a step back.
That's
Now, am I being detained?
Yes, you're still being detained for questions.
Within the first 4 minutes, you can already spot two major legal problems, and neither one is hard to see. The first issue is the detention itself. Florida's Stop and Identify Law, Statute 901.151, is clear. An officer can only temporarily detain someone if they have reasonable suspicion that the person has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a crime. But Big Nick had already done what he was told he left the station. That's compliance, not criminal behavior. Even if the situation was being framed as trespassing, Florida law doesn't support the officer's approach. Under Florida Statute 810.08, trespass requires clear communication that someone is not allowed on the property. And the second that person leaves, the alleged trespass is over. Officer Pitts even admits on camera that his main goal isn't to investigate a crime, it's to issue a trespass warning, which is more about transit policy than an actual criminal investigation. And that's an important distinction. Policy isn't law. The second legal issue is the demand for identification. Officer Pitts refuses to provide his own name while insisting Big Nick provide his. Florida law doesn't require officers to give their name on request, but the situation reveals the power imbalance being created. One person is being pressured to give up their identity, while the other refuses to provide theirs. Big Nick invoking the Fifth Amendment as soon as it became clear he was being detained was exactly the correct move. Supreme Court precedent, including Berkham v. McCarty, 1984, confirmed that Fifth Amendment protections apply during roadside and on-scene detentions, not only during formal arrests. And Big Nick clearly understood that from the start.
Of what took place on the train?
And since I'm being detained, then at this point, I like to assert my Fifth Amendment
Oh my
privilege.
God. What took place on the train that they didn't want to trespass on you? That's what we're asking.
I don't know. Investigate them.
I did. I already talked to her. But I want
Okay.
your side of the story.
I don't have a side.
There's two sides of the story, right?
I don't have a side. I don't answer questions, buddy.
You don't answer questions.
No.
Okay, but you have to provide ID when police.
No, I don't.
For an investigation, yes, you do.
Suspicion of a crime, about to commit a crime,
Well,
have committed a
You can
crime.
have it with them. And
901.151.
I know what it is, sir.
I'm an activist.
I know.
And you know I don't
see.
have to give you my
I
information.
see.
You know I don't have to give you my information. So all that, when the
You
police...
have, first of all, you have to give your name for the form for them.
No, I don't,
for their
because
system.
no, they asked me to leave and I left. I know the law. I'm very well versed in the law.
Okay.
They told me to leave and I left.
Okay.
So that's my
Very
warning.
versed.
I'm very
So
versed in
when
the
the
law.
police ask you, they want to put you in the system. So when we have to deal with you again, if we do, it's already there, sir.
Then that's when you get it. If I break the law, that's when you get
But
it.
no, we put it now. So
No, I don't like giving my name to the government for nothing.
How do you get checks for paid stuff like that?
I
right?
said
The
for
shops.
nothing.
For nothing, but for anything, right? So
I don't like giving my information to the government for just randomly.
stop yelling at me.
I can yell, I can talk, freedom of speech.
I'm asking you to stop yelling.
Do you feel
And-
threatened?
I kind of do.
Okay, then you can go.
I can't go, honestly.
You can go.
Believe me, I wish I could.
Okay.
It would be a resolved issue.
Where's the sergeant? I want to talk to the
Sergeant's over
sergeant.
there.
Call the
He's
sergeant.
coming to talk to you. You don't have to
Because I'm
worry
being
about
illegally detained right
it. Are you
now.
really? Are you? Have you provided your name and your information? You
I don't
can
have
take it away.
to, and you know that. That's why I'm not in cuffs. That's why you're not taking me to... I'm not giving up my information.
It's not my headache, dude.
Okay,
It's there,
then why you
but
still
I'm trying to help
here?
them get the information they need.
Okay.
I'm putting you in a system myself for contact. And you don't want to do that.
No.
You want to elevate it to somewhere else.
I'm not elevating. You're going to elevate it. All you have to do is follow the law.
I am following the law.
No, then follow 901.151. Follow Penal Code 901.151. Follow Penal Code 901.151.
Sir.
You know what that
I
states,
am
right?
following the law.
What crime have I committed?
Well, you were causing a disturbance on the
I didn't cause the disturbance. They did. They asked me to leave, and I got off. I followed their
They need
rules.
the information for their report, sir.
Okay, but no, that's not how the law works.
Okay. You're not in my law. Like, I'm not.
Okay,
I wasn't
so why are you
with
trying to force me to give them my information when I don't have to?
Report, sir.
She can just put a
But
good
then-
citizen
Good citizen?
for her
You say good
report.
citizen?
Good citizen.
Okay. So when the police get involved, I can identify you
No.
for purposes. Yes.
Not unless you suspect me of committing a crime.
I can suspect you're creating disturbance on a train.
No,
Yes, I can.
you can't. I didn't.
To them.
I didn't. According to
So,
me, I didn't.
so let me say-
So their
I think-
word is more powerful than mine.
You wouldn't tell me the story. I just asked you what
But
happened.
I'm telling you now, I didn't
now
create
you
a
wanna explain.
disturbance.
Okay.
I'm telling you now, I
explain to me-
didn't
okay.
create.
I asked you. a
There's
minute
no
ago.
explaining.
Explain. I don't. Just
Okay,
give me a
the
whole story.
explanation is.
There you go.
The explanation is
Thank you,
I did
sir.
not cause a disturbance.
Okay. Well,
The
there's no
explanation
music
is
and stuff
they
like
asked
that.
me.
Did that happen?
They asked me to get out the train. I
Well, why
complied.
did they ask you to get off?
Then Officer Pitts says something on camera that makes this situation even worse. He openly admits that he wants Big Nick's information so he can run it through law enforcement databases for next time. He literally says he wants him in the system. That's not law enforcement, that's surveillance. Access to federal and state criminal databases isn't meant for curiosity or future reference. Systems like NCIC are regulated under federal authority, including 28 U.S.C. Section 534, and governed through strict FBI CJIS policies. Those databases are supposed to be used only for legitimate law enforcement purposes. Running someone's identity simply because you want to recognize them later when no crime has been committed is exactly the kind of misuse those rules are designed to prevent. Most departments even have internal policies that prohibit this kind of phishing expedition. On top of that, the officer still fails to clearly identify a crime. When questioned, he vaguely calls it a disturbance, but Big Nick was already off the property when police arrived. Whatever the staff may have reported, the moment any possible issue existed, it was already over. Under Terry v. Ohio, 1968, reasonable suspicion must be based on specific, articulable facts, not vague assumptions, not a hunch, and not an employee's discomfort. And certainly not an officer's desire to build a file on an activist. Even when a sergeant arrives, nothing changes. No one steps in. No one corrects the situation. The unlawful detention continues like it's normal.
Because they don't like the shoes I wear.
That wasn't according to them. You were playing loud music.
They lied to you.
Okay, so I'm asking you to explain that to me.
Yeah, they don't like the shoes I'm wearing.
Oh, that's the reason they didn't like the shoes
Yeah.
you were saying, like your black Reeboks that you were
Right.
wearing. And that had them put you off train
Right.
conductor as well.
Right.
So if I take a sworn statement from both of them,
You can do what you want to do. They can lie on a sworn statement.
Okay. Here's the sergeant. You can talk to him. You want the sergeant?
We're good. We're good.
You want to talk to him?
No, this guy does this all the time.
I shake your hand, Sergeant.
I know.
So you're not gonna shake my hand, Sergeant? You're not gonna say Hanson. What's your badge number, Hanson?
3065.
Thank you.
Hanson, 3065.
Let your dog know
I'm not a dog, number one. I'm not a dog, number one.
Let your dog know
I'm not a
that
dog,
he can't
number
attack
one.
me.
You
Look at
understand?
him.
I'm not a dog.
Hey, back
I'm
up
an
from a
officer.
taxpaying law-abiding citizen.
Refer to you in that
I'm an
derogatory
officer.
term?
Do
I'm an
not
officer.
intimidate a
I'm not a
law.
dog.
You're not
I'm
acting
not-
like a law.
No,
You're not
I am.
acting like an
I
officer.
am.
No, you try to
I'm not
demand
a
me to
dog.
give my
I'm an
information
officer.
to them.
They need it for their report.
I don't
Ash.
care, and
then
I'm
the
telling you,
officer
you're
asked
trying
me-
to. That's
No.
not true, Sergeant. You hear what he said, Sergeant?
Subject.
When the officer asked me my name, I have to give it to him.
If you're being detained, you are.
Yeah.
No, I have to be legally
But
detained.
you do this so often, we actually know who you
I have to be
are.
lawfully
I'll give-
detained.
I'll give you to the system. Have a nice day.
Lawfully detained.
Stay out of my face.
I'm not in your face. You just came right here.
One of the bystanders in this footage repeats a common myth, that Big Nick has to identify himself because he's being detained. That belief is everywhere and it's dangerous in Florida. Detention alone does not automatically create an obligation to identify yourself. Florida's statute is conditional. Under 901.151, the duty to provide identification only exists if the officer is conducting a lawful detention based on reasonable suspicion of a specific crime. If the detention is unlawful, then the ID demand built on top of it is unlawful too. The U.S. Supreme Court made this crystal clear in Brown v. Texas, 1979. In that case, the court struck down a stop and identify conviction because the officer didn't have reasonable suspicion. The court ruled that detaining someone and forcing identification without proper legal grounds violates the Fourth Amendment. That same principle applies here. An illegal stop doesn't magically become legal just because an officer repeats the demand louder or longer. Big Nick clearly understood this. The officers, at no point, demonstrated that they did. Officer Pitts earns a clear failing grade. He detained a man without articulating any actual criminal offense, which is the basic requirement under both Florida law and the Fourth Amendment. When pushed, he relied on vague language like disturbance, even though the alleged issue had ended before he arrived. He refused to identify himself while demanding another man's identity. He admitted on camera that he intended to use law enforcement databases to build a profile for future encounters, something that strongly resembles misuse of restricted systems. He allowed false legal claims from a bystander to go uncorrected. He didn't de-escalate. He didn't cite a clear crime. He had no legitimate legal basis to justify the stop. What this footage shows isn't confusion. It's indifference. It's an officer treating constitutional rights like an inconvenience instead of a boundary. The backup officers earn a D. They didn't do much, but that's exactly the problem. They stood around while a man was unlawfully detained, and not one of them stepped in. Many agencies recognize the duty to intervene. Standing by while someone's rights are violated isn't neutrality, it's participation. Their physical positioning, surrounding Big Nick on multiple sides, also adds to the intimidation and coercive nature of the encounter. The sergeant earns a D-. Supervisors exist for a reason. When the sergeant arrived, he had the authority and responsibility to assess the situation, determine whether the detention was lawful, and shut it down immediately. He didn't. Under the totality of circumstances standard emphasized in Graham v. Connor, 1989, this was an obvious red flag. A calm man, already compliant, standing peacefully and invoking his rights. A properly trained supervisor should have recognized the legal liability instantly. Instead, the stop continued. Big Nick earns an A. He knew Florida statute 901.151 by number. He invoked the Fifth Amendment the moment detention was confirmed. He requested names and badge numbers. He stayed calm under pressure, didn't take the bait, and didn't escalate physically despite being surrounded and challenged. His understanding of the law Brown v. Texas, Berkmer v. McCarty, and the conditional nature of Florida's statute was sharper than anything demonstrated by the officers confronting him. This is exactly what informed civilian accountability work looks like. If there's a police interaction or legal topic you'd like us to cover next, drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Audit Legends for police accountability.